So I figured I'd come on here and talk about wabi-sabi, this Japanese philosophy or mindset, a way of viewing life, a way of viewing beauty, and really seeing that beauty, that imperfections, that impermanence, the things that our culture tends to deem as ugly is actually like so incredibly beautiful, is one of the most beautiful parts of life. I resonate with this so much. I really feel like, yeah, there's so much beauty in the imperfections, and I see how our culture has become so obsessed with beauty, with like a certain specific idealized version of beauty, and then also with eliminating any signs of aging. I feel like that's such a big one, especially for women, where like, you know, there's some like anti-aging creams and all of these things that really just try to like make yourself look younger. But I really feel like aging is so fucking beautiful. And I know you can say like, I'm still young, so some people might be like, well, wait till you get older. But I really am gonna lean into it. Like when I get older, I want to embrace my aging, because I feel like with age comes wisdom. By embracing your natural beauty in that way, there can be this celebration of your life, of your story, of your journey, and you can see the evidence of it within the lines in your face and the gray in your hair. And I can see how it's become so normalized to contort our physical being to fit what we perceive as beautiful, you know, with cosmetic surgery, you know, with like lip injections, boob enhancements. And as I'm making this video, I'll be completely transparent that when I was 18, I got a nose job. I'm not afraid to talk about it, but I just don't bring it up because it's like, where do I just casually insert that into conversation? Except there was one time where this woman was like looking at my nose and she was like, you have the most perfect nose. And I just told her right away, I was like, I got a nose job. Like, I don't know. Like, I can appreciate the compliment, but I do want there to be transparency with that. I just got subtle changes to it. Yeah, I did get a nose job, and I got it back when I was 18. That was like almost 10 years ago now. And I was in a much different mindset. Even though back then when I was younger, I still really appreciated more natural beauty and I wanted to gravitate towards that. At the time, I allowed myself to be so consumed by the insecurities just in general that were projected onto my nose and onto other areas of my life. I allowed it to occupy a big space in my mind, just feeling like, yeah, so insecure about the way that my nose looked. Yeah, it's unfortunate that that is very common, actually. I feel like a lot of women have that, whether it be with their nose or, you know, like with their lips or just different parts of their appearance. Their insecurities and anxieties will get projected onto it. Ultimately, it's hard because I do feel like it is a bit of a product of the way in which our culture is operating right now. Yeah, I also am a big advocate for taking radical responsibility and recognizing our ability to choose despite the influences, the external influences. We still play an active role, whether it be consciously or subconsciously, to feed these narratives, to feed these scripts, to feed these ideals of what beauty looks like. And as I say that, I do want to acknowledge that it can be challenging when you are younger. Like I was 18, and like growing up, when you're younger, a lot of the times you haven't fully developed your understanding of the world. Not that you ever actually fully develop it perhaps, but you know, you just tend to be in a more vulnerable state, I suppose, as you're developing. So it can be more easily influenced, you know? So I do recognize the more delicate nature of it when you're younger. And as I say that, I feel like that puts emphasis on how important it is for us women who are out of our teenage phase, you know, to really set an example of what beauty is, of what natural beauty is. For the girls that are still developing their own conception of themselves, I don't want to put things in right or wrong, because there's not really even necessarily anything wrong with wearing makeup. It can be a fun way to express yourself, to decorate. You're human, you know. I really loved makeup growing up, but now I very rarely wear it. And when I do, I like to just do my eyeliner for fun, you know, but I really don't like to cover up my acne scars. I don't like to put foundation on. And I've really transitioned into a phase of life of trying to embrace my imperfections more. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect with it, and I'm not saying that I'm doing the right thing, but honestly, I have had quite a journey when it comes to physical beauty and all of that. About 6 or 7 years ago, my whole face started to break out. Like I had big red acne all over my face. It was constantly inflamed. I lost all of my hair. I went through alopecia areata. It's an autoimmune condition. I still have remnants of it. time, it's still, I feel like, working its way through. Like, I feel like I am in remission, like I'm healing from it. I won't go into depth about what alopecia areata is. I have another whole video about that if you're interested. But through that journey, it was a wild fucking ride and not easy, I will say. Like, being a woman and having my hair falling out and being bald and and acne all over my face, it triggered a lot within me, and I chose to treat it as an opportunity to meet those parts of myself, to really redefine what beauty is to me, and to find a deeper connection with myself and with what I perceive as beautiful. And there's so much I feel like I could say on this topic. It's so big, and I don't at all want to make it seem like it was like, okay, I surrendered to this and then everything was healed. It was not easy. There was so much, you know, so much to it. But I will say that experience has really, really shifted my perception of beauty. And after moving through that experience, I really can say that I have such a deeper, more true sense of confidence than I had ever had before. And through that experience, I really pushed my edges with it. Like, I would walk out in public without a wig on. Like, when my hair first started falling out and I shaved my head because I had barely any hair, I didn't get a wig for the first couple of months, and I was like, I'm just gonna rock it. I'm gonna allow my insecurities to come to the surface. And I was in college, so I went to my college classes. I went to work, which just showed up with a bald head, and it wasn't just like a normal bald head. There was like patches and stuff. So I leaned into vulnerability because I just put like my insecurities, what I was going through, right on the surface. And like even the acne, I just showed up as I was, and I pretty much mostly stopped wearing makeup and just allowed my face to be. And for the most part, I tried to not hide it. Yeah, I did go through phases of wearing wigs, and that was a whole journey for me because it felt challenging, because I felt like I was hiding every time I'd wear them. But I truly feel like it was over time, the more and more I embraced the insecurity, the more it shifted, the more it healed. Whatever was creating the stuckness was able to move through, the less that I clenched onto it and grasped onto it, you know, and projected insecurity onto it. So I guess in short, that's a little bit of that journey. As I said, I did get a nose job too, and where I am now, had I not already gotten one, I definitely wouldn't get one now. But I got it when I was 18, and like, I can't do a reversal on it. It's just been a part of my journey, and perhaps there is a timeline where I didn't get the nose job and I just embraced my natural beauty in that way. But I don't know. Who knows if there's more timelines? Who knows if there is, there isn't? I have so many ideas on all of that, but I feel like what matters most is that, like, here I am now. I did what I did, and how do I want to orient to things moving forward? And I definitely was presented with other opportunities, like I said, with my hair falling out and my acne, to face insecurities. And I feel like, yeah, we all struggle with this in our own way, in our own variation. And I just really see all of these like surgeries, you know, and how lip injections become so popular, and Botox and everything. It's just a way that we are turning away from ourselves. And in ways, we're abandoning ourselves. We're abandoning our true essence, our true authentic expression, you know, by like putting a band-aid on it, trying to hide and cover up. And the intention of this video is not at all to shame people that are doing this. As I've shared, I've done this, you know, I understand, and I can understand the inner workings and what has triggered these behaviors. Yet I also do think it's important to speak to this, to really confront something that's becoming so prominent in our culture. I just really would love to see more women embracing their natural beauty, because your natural beauty is so much more beautiful than like you ever even recognize, truly. And if you think about it, the more you hide, the more you get in the way of actually allowing genuine, true, authentic connections to happen, to unfold in your life. The way you hide internally, you could talk about it in the sense of whenever we avoid being vulnerable, like when we're sharing and expressing, when we hide our feelings, but also when we hide physically, when we start to hide behind these surgeries, when we start to hide behind all of these masks. On the surface, we may feel like it's creating more connection for us, but it's creating surface level connection. And I really believe the more that we take our mask off and we're just vulnerable and we're human and we allow our imperfections to be seen, as I said at the beginning of the video, wabi-sabi, like allow our aging, allowing our insecurities, allowing everything to be seen. Yeah, it just adds depth. I feel like there's this common theme we share as humans. You know, we want to feel connection, we want to feel seen, but it's like, how are you gonna be seen if you're hiding? You know, if you hide away, how will you be seen? The only you that can be seen is the you that you present yourself as. And if you're presenting yourself as something that is not truly you, then you are not going to be seen. The phrase "that which you resist persists" is so fucking true, because when we act from spaces of fear and we hide away and resist that which we fear, then we create more of that, and we create more disconnection and more of this feeling of not feeling seen, because you're not allowing yourself to be seen. And I see so often that we start pointing fingers and blaming the culture and blaming the media and blaming all this. And yes, it's important to recognize what's going on in the media, to shine light on it so people can actually see through it. But I think it can be dangerous when we start to blame it for why we are showing up the way we're showing up. To actually take responsibility and to really see, where am I turning away from myself? Where am I hiding? How can I show up more real? Like, how can I be more of a real human, you know? And if I want to be seen, like, I need to see myself, and I need to allow myself to be seen. And it's fucking scary to really open up, be like, I'm not perfect. I'll stay right here. I'm not perfect, bro. I have so many things that, you know, I'm working through. And I feel like that is a part of the beauty. Like, that truly is a part of the beauty of this human experience. Like, I really believe that to be true. And I put faith in the belief that things are changing, and all I can do is show up and try to be as real and as raw as I can, and do that for myself, because I know that that's just what my heart is calling me to do. And also do that for others. Like, to show up as yourself is really one of the most beautiful offerings you can give to this experience that is life, to really show up as you. So the more and more I look inward and try to see myself more clearly and take off my masks, I feel that, yeah, that's just my offering to the world. And I would love for it to inspire other people to do the same. But ultimately, just need to keep showing up and trust that that's what my heart is telling me to do, and trust that things are changing. You know, have faith that a shift is occurring, because I feel it inside. So if I can feel it internally, I trust that it will ripple out in the external. When? I don't know. That's out of my human control. Yeah, all I can do is focus on what is under my control, and seeing where I can show up with more responsibility in my own life, you know, and stepping out of the victim role. I feel that that is so important. And this right here, me making videos, is a part of that journey. It's fucking scary, honestly, for me to stand in front of a camera. Like, I stutter and I feel shy speaking and expressing. But the more that I do it, the more natural it starts to feel, the less scary it is. And I feel like that is with anything in life. The more you open yourself up and are vulnerable, it's gonna fucking be scary at first, dude. But the more you do it, the more natural it'll feel. It just feels scary because you're not used to it. So I know there's probably so much more I could speak to on this topic, and I will one day. I want to keep sharing on here in these ways, but I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for watching this, and I encourage you to lean into yourself a little bit more, and to recognize where you're hiding, to get to know yourself more. How can you show up in life just little by little each day and expose yourself a bit more? Like, where can you lean into the discomfort in your life? Just some questions for you. Anyways, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope you recognize that you are a part of that beautiful thing. You're fucking beautiful. Wabi-sabi, baby. Okay.